country should stand for? We, the bastion of freedom, and we're supposed to stand for this lockdown, you know, all over the pretense that they're keeping us safe. Keeping us safe from who? I would say we need to be kept safe from them.
Well said. That's what I told the TSA guy. I'm like, how do I know you're not a terrorist? You guys get caught stealing and doing all this stuff constantly.
I'm not going to get into individual things the TSA does. The TSA is there because our elected officials and government, George Bush and the Patriot Act, put them there.
You're right.
And the TSA and Homeland Security. Homeland Security is a federal agency that has the power of the Gestapo. I mean, when I went out to do Plum Island, none of the fishermen would take me on a legal ride in their boat because they were afraid Homeland Security would pull their license and they would lose their livelihood. That's what our government's supposed to be, oppressive like that? Our government is supposed to rule us with fear? I don't think that's what the United States of America should stand for at all. And that's what our government, in my opinion, has turned into today.
Well, you're right. I mean, the whole world looks at us in horror and thinks of us as a police state.
Well, Alex, why do we need bases all throughout the world? What have we done to the rest of the world where we have the need to protect ourselves to such extreme? Obviously, we're not a very good neighbor. Because if you got to barricade your house and put up armament and electric fencing and guard dogs and everything else in the world, obviously you don't trust your neighbors at all, or you don't have a good relationship with the people around you. And that's what it seems like the United States of America has turned into today. We were looked at one time as the bastion of freedom. I don't know how anybody could look when we want to put walls up at our borders. We got stopped. It's like driving around Nazi Germany now. They got stops all over the country when you drive places. And the people of this country, many of them sit back and say, oh, that's wonderful.
Well,
be safe.
Well, you're right on that. The vast majority are upset about it, but they don't have any respect for themselves to file a lawsuit or boycott or speak up like you've done. And they need to understand. Remember Obama at his last State of the Union said, we'll put up trains nationwide, and don't worry, you won't get groped like the airport, and people laughed. And they were already doing it at train stations. He knew he was lying. I mean, this is insane. And then what's crazy is I go fishing a few times a year in Port Aransas and other areas. I've been doing it my whole life. And now, when Coast Guard or Homeland Security now out there drives within 500 yards, people stop the boats and bow their heads, basically groveling. And I said, why are you doing that? And they said, if you look at them and if you don't stop your boat, they jump on board and scream and yell at you. And I said, really? And they said, oh, yeah, this isn't America anymore. And we're talking hundreds of miles from the border. And they literally... This morning I was driving into work and I saw a bunch of police out doing some highway work, and they were like bugging their eyes out and strutting around looking crazy. And
the bottom line is, Alex, is that we don't need Homeland Security. Homeland Security was put in place, in my opinion, we need to cut down the power of the federal government and give power back to the states.
And face the danger, as you've said. I mean, I'm much more afraid, and history shows, a big corrupt government than some guy with a turban on his head. Meanwhile, they just gave Libya to Al-Qaeda.
Well, you know, let's remember what they did to Iraq. Iraq now belongs, Iraq was what, Sunni, and now it's the other way. When we took Saddam out, we put Iraq right in line to be with Iran.
Yep.
Now, why would we do that? That makes no sense to me. I guess they know more than I do about what they're trying to accomplish.
No, it's a radicalization program that they're creating the next enemy to blow up 10 years from now.
Well, you know, again, I stand with Ron Paul. Bring the troops home, end the wars. Let's take care of our own infrastructure. Let's build highways. Let's put our money into our country instead of putting money into the rest of the world.
Unbelievable. I want to take a few calls, Governor, but...
Okay, real quick, and then I got another call I actually got to do in a few minutes.
No, I understand how you got to go right at the end here. And you want me to put you in touch with Coast to Coast AM?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, because I want you to get this information out to the widest widest audience. I'll call George Norrie at the end of the show and get it hooked right up.
Okay.
Because I'm sure they want to get you on. Let's go, because he was bringing you up last night when I was on. Let's go to Danny in Georgia. Thanks for holding. You're on the air with Governor Ventura.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, Barry.
It's an honor to talk to you both. I'm a big fan of the show, as well as your work that you've done for all of us as Americans. But I wanted to say, you're completely right. It's been a great interview. And you're completely right. People need to get behind your work, Ventura, and, really support you. And, they need to start speaking up, because I haven't flown ever since I was 10 years old. That was about 11 years ago. And, I refuse to do it now because of all the groping and everything. So I just wanted your take on that about, what do you think about, people getting behind you and starting some kind of movement to get the hotels, the media, everybody to start boycotting and all that kind of stuff?
I would love, here's what I would love. I would love to pick out one day, just one day, and have no one in this country fly that day.
I think we picked that.
The airports down in protest for one day.
Yeah, you had said next 4th of July, but that's a ways off. I mean, I would say we did it last year. We had, no fly on Thanksgiving, the day before, the day of, and the day after. Or if you have to, opt out. And they basically turned the scanners off for 2 weeks because they didn't want to give people a chance to revolt.
Well, to me, as long as people continue to put up with it, and like I said, there's a huge crowd of people out there. Like the one guy said to me, well, I'm all for it because no one's hijacked any planes and attacked us since 9/11.
Well said. Let's take another call here. Let's talk to Barbara in Ohio. You're on the air with Jesse Ventura.
Hello.
Hi, Barbara.
Brother Alex. First of all, we need to pray. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for my brother.
Barbara, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we're almost out of time here.
Not only that, Barbara, unfortunately, I'm an atheist. It doesn't do me any good.
Well, Jesse, on your show, you're investigating spiritual stuff. You really don't know what's going on out there.
No, I certainly don't, but I belong to no religion, and I belong to the same religion George Carlin did.
But listen, Barbara, I appreciate your prayer, though.
Pray all you want, Barbara. Don't get me wrong. I don't stand in anyone's way. If you desire to pray, you pray to your heart's content.
But Barbara, specifically, do you have a quick question or comment?
Yes. We do have a way out of this evil. It's all in the Word of God. If God be for you, who can be against you? Noah was sheltered. Lot was taken to the mountains. Where did Jesus go when he was persecuted?
Well, then I guess we got to vote for Rick Perry, because Rick Perry said that God came to him and told him he had to be president.
Barbara, I appreciate your call.
Which to me disqualifies him, Alex.
Well, that's when he's not visiting the...
No, it disqualifies him, because I challenged Rick Perry to prove to me he talked to God.
Well, he must have talked to God when he was at the transvestite bar.
What I'm saying is prove it. He can't prove it, he can only say it.
Let's go to Brad in Canada with Jesse Ventura. Last caller, then I'm going to say bye to him here. And I know you got that next call, Gub, but I need to talk to you right at the end here. Go ahead, Brad in Canada, then I'll get to others. Go ahead.
Well, Governor, I thank you and I salute you, my friend. I must confess, I wasn't surprised with the ruling. What I'm most surprised with is the fact there's no reaction from anybody. I have mentioned this to everybody up here, and maybe I have a different perspective because I'm on the outside looking in to the U.S., but no one knew about it, no one knows about it, and no one seems to care.
Exactly.
I'm going to stop you. I've had people all over come up to me and say, thank Jesse Ventura. I mean, I've had every guest I have on, rock stars, you name it, say thank him. I had people this weekend come up and say thank the governor. I had a friend I haven't seen in years show up down at our...
But Alex, these are all the people that listen to you. And as big as your show is, there's still a lot of people out there that don't.
No, I totally agree with you. My point is we got a lot of people starting to wake up, and we don't have a choice. We got to beat this enemy.
Well, I agree.
All right, caller, I appreciate your call, but in the minute...
I appreciate it, too, but he's exactly correct.
In the minute...
mainstream media didn't touch it. Half the country doesn't even know that I brought the lawsuit.
Well, let's have all the listeners call talk radio, call national media, tell them, cover this. This is a big deal. Do we have a right to a jury trial?
Either that or have them all call Judge Nelson and ask why I can't have a jury trial, why she has no courage.
Because she's a political minion, a political sellout. Governor, we've only got about 45 seconds left. Look, you've thrown down the gauntlet. You're telling the media, get the story straight, correct, about you giving up your U.S. citizenship.
Oh, absolutely. I did not ever once say I was giving up my citizenship. I merely said I was going to apply for Mexican citizenship and have dual citizenship. There is nothing wrong with that, considering that I do spend a great deal of time in Mexico. And what's the matter with being a dual citizen? Nothing.
Incredible, Governor. I'm going to say bye to you during the break. Look for the Governor on Coast to Coast AM if they have him on.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. This holiday season, more than half of our nation is in need of help due to the shattered economy. So now is the time to express the holiday spirit more than ever. Consider helping those you love with the most important gift, a supply of delicious, easy-to-fix, and very storable foods from efoodsdirect.com. Their holiday gift and family packs start at $99 for a 16-day supply, while their 5-week supply of quick and easy-to-fix meals includes a personal backpack in case of a grab-and-go emergency. Order their combo gift pack, and you'll save hundreds, plus get free shipping on your entire order. Call eFoods today at 800-409-5633 or visit them online at efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find the special. That's 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
By the way, folks, I am working with Governor Jesse Ventura. He's got a good heart. He's a good man. He's woken up in the last 6 years of the New World Order. And in his show this season, he's starting to investigate kind of the occult and things. And I think he'll come around on the fact that he just doesn't like organized religion telling him what to do and all the hypocrisy. But he's a good guy, and I appreciate Barbara trying to pray for him, but I knew he wasn't going to want that because he's tired of all these Christians launching wars and all this. But that's the system doing that in Christians' names. And I mean, I think that I've seen Ventura really grow by light years. And he's grown in ways I haven't grown. I'm not up here on some high horse saying, you know, but I mean, look how far he's come. I mean, he's really standing up. And we appreciate that. You know, I've got Bill in Connecticut, Justin in, I don't know where Justin's calling from. He didn't tell us, so that's fine. And we've got 1310 AM New York listener, Daniel. We'll get to him, Chris in Florida, and others. We'll get to everybody here coming up with Max Keiser. But that's big news. I mean, he's a big political figure. He's got a lot of political weight and name recognition. He's very libertarian and conservative when it comes to fiscal issues. I don't agree with some of the issues. But the point is he'll take on the New World Order. He'll take on their police state. And he can really be informed. But if I had more time to really work on Ventura, he'll always look at information. If I had more time, that's somebody I could really fully, I think, get around to our way of thinking. I don't want to get into it all on air, but Ventura does not associate with a lot of people. Personally, he doesn't give hardly anybody his home phone number. He doesn't really, he's kind of a loner. And he likes me for whatever reason, and we actually have discussions and talks and are friends and debates about things. And he's a good guy. I can tell you he's got a good heart. And I don't want to compare him to Saul of Tarsus and the Saul moment, because he's not hunting down good people. He is a good person. But I think he's going to have the Saul of Tarsus on the road to Damascus moment. In fact, I know he is in my heart. And so, you know, I pray for Jesse Ventura. I pray for Ron Paul. I pray for other people who I know have good hearts, who I've met and I've talked to and I've watched for a long time. Obviously, Ron Paul is somebody who I'm about 100% lined up with. About 99%. I know Ron Paul's really smart and knows the truth about 9/11. I mean, I know he knows about Mossadegh, he knows about stage stuff, but he said before, and he's been asked, why don't you get into this? He goes, I haven't had time to fully get into it. I'm covering a lot of other issues. Now, I understand why he's doing that. It's a strategic decision to not get into that tar baby. But you can't get better than Ron Paul. I would support Ron Paul over Jesse Ventura